I'm your man, Shut Up Cole, from the world famous Hentations podcast, and I suffer from anxiety, and that's okay. The first step to managing whatever you have, whatever type of disorder you have, is obviously first, talk to somebody, talk to professionals, seek therapy. Like, in addition to just talking to your friends, just talking with your homies, whatever, talking to your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your significant other, whatever, your family, talk to professional people. There are people who go to college and people who are willing to sit there and listen to you. They put the work in, they've studied people like you, and they understand. I can't emphasize how important that is and how valuable a tool that is. Just to sit down with somebody and just get everything out, all the trauma, all the things you've been dealing with your whole life, tough things that you just never really spoken about. Because that's another thing we do, we hold things in, and that's one of the ways mental health issues manifest. It's just stuff that we just never unpacked. It's like going on a trip and you just leave your bags just on the ground. You never unpack them, and they just over time, like it just like the funk builds up. And it felt like the first time I went to therapy, it was just so great. I just was talking about stuff that I'm not one to just not get things out. I'm an emotional person. I like to talk, but it's just, I was able to talk about things in depth that I've just never really spoken about with anybody, even with the people that were involved in there. Like, and my therapist sat there and she raised questions that I wouldn't even have thought about raising. And I had to confront answers to questions that I didn't have answers for at the time. It's just like, wow, that's a good ass question. Like, I mean, I never thought about it, whether it's, growing up but without a father, or like my dad just coming back into my life in the last couple years, and just something I've just kept packed away for a long time. And it's just like, oh my God, that's just a thing, that's just my life. And we just sit there and talk about something like that, and you feel good afterward. You talk about relationships with family members, the ups and downs in relationships with family members, and you just start looking at things in a different way. You don't have to take medication if you don't want to. Some medication works for everybody. Not every psychologist is gonna sit there and just throw you pills. Now, some will, and I mean, if pills work for some people, some don't. I personally don't like taking medication. I don't like the way it makes me feel. I don't like the side effects, but it works for some people, and that's okay too. Therapy is one of the greatest inventions ever. It is a damn shame that therapy is, and it's gotten better in recent times, it's sort of like a dirty word in the Black community. Like, I'm going to therapy. Oh, what's wrong with you? Oh, you crazy? Like, that word crazy is a terrible, that's a bad word to call somebody crazy. Like, you don't know what it's like when you see somebody struggling with mental health issues. Like, we see videos on social media of people in their lowest moments that are clearly suffering from some type of affliction, and we laugh and we point and we joke about it, like Antonio Brown right now. And that's what we need to get away from. We should embrace trying to help people like that, because that could be anybody. That could be your uncle, that could be your cousin, that could be your brother, that could be your father. And then when you talk to somebody and you understand what your issue is, the main thing is just to, again, not embrace it, because it's not something to be embraced necessarily, but just like realize this is a part of me. This is something I have to manage, I have to live with. Like, you can't just act like it's not there. You can't just like, oh, I'm gonna cut this off for today. It's a part of you. So the only thing you can do is just live your life and manage it and be, you don't have to go grab a microphone, grab your phone and go post on Instagram about it like me. I'm just weird. But just, this is a part of you. Talk to people about it. Like, let people know, understand, because the only way for people to understand is if you let them know what's going on. And it's hard. I know it's so hard, because not everybody is going to be nice and like, oh, I understand, I'm really sorry you're going through it. People are going to say things, people are going to talk, because people aren't educated. They don't understand mental health. I guarantee you they've been around it. Everybody has experienced it in some way, whether it's themselves or somebody in their family. But if you're not educated about something, even though you see it with your 2 eyes, you don't know what it is unless you learn about it. And again, part of this platform, the Hentations, we talk about a lot of great things, a lot of great topics. We give you guys a lot of great content, but one of my passions, and one of the things that all the other guys are passionate about, and as you heard in our mental health episode, is This is something that's like a very important part of life as a Black millennial. And whatever we can do, whatever I can do to help somebody out and give somebody the tools needed to confront anything that they're dealing with and not feel ashamed about it and be open about it, that's what we're here for. Okay, this is part of being a human being. We all have our faults. All we can do is embrace it and just keep it moving. So again, this is your man, Shut Up Cole, and I suffer from anxiety, and that's okay.